Is the future predictable? This question has been asked so many times. Now, what would Quantology say about this? Quantology will say, yes, future is predictable, and as well as it will say, no, future is not predictable. Now, this may seem very paradoxical to you, but actually it is true. Now, to explain this, just for the sake of convenience of explanation, let me say there are three components of future. The first component of the future is all the accumulated past has its own momentum, and that itself creates the future. For example, if the stone is falling downhill and it is continuing to gain the speed, then just based on this much past you can say that it will gain higher and higher speed. Same way, if somebody has been a brilliant student of law, you can say that you can just project this past into the future, and you can say, okay, probably he can get a good job in some law firm. So let us understand, all this past of the whole humanity, of ourselves, of subconscious, the whole subconscious, everything is very valuable, because it is this past which creates all the momentum for future. So the first component of future is the momentum of the past. Now, what is the second component of the future? Second component of the future is the structure of time itself. What do I mean by structure of time? Now, what is basically what is time basically? Let's understand that. Every unit of time is basically has some kind of a astronomical reasoning behind it. This whole experience of time happens because there are certain astronomy fundamentals. For example, the day and night happens because the earth revolves on its axis. So can we predict that sun will rise tomorrow somewhere around 7? Yeah, people have, there are exact calculation of time when the sunrise will happen, and it happens. So that future is predictable. Can we predict that in the month of May it will be very hot? Can we predict that there will be rains in the month of August? Right? So when it comes to the astronomical phenomena, again future is predictable. Now let's look at, we have so many astronomical units of time. Like day is an astronomical unit of time. Year is an astronomical unit of time, and now there are much larger units of time. These units of time are called yugas. We have heard of the Satya Yuga and the Treta Yuga, the Dwapar Yuga and Kali Yuga. It is a 24,000 year cycle. Why it is a 24,000 year cycle? It is because there is some astronomy associated with that. Now I wouldn't go into the astronomy associated with that. I have done a huge research on that astronomy, but it is a separate topic in itself. But let me explain that there are 12,000 years of descending yugas and another 12,000 years of ascending yugas. Now we are now in the ascending yuga. Basic difference between descending yuga and ascending yuga is this. In descending yuga, the consciousness is constantly reducing. So past is always better than present. Let's understand this by example. Suppose if there was a family of kings sometime and they were very wealthy, and then they kept losing wealth. So the past is better than present for them. And when past is better than present, then what do? We worship the past. We try to look at what the people in past did and we try to imitate that. So this trying to follow what the past was is strictly a phenomena of descending ages. Now, what are the ascending ages basically? In ascending age, the future is always better than past. Because in ascending yuga, the consciousness is growing. So, the key point I want to make, that all these religions which are there today, they all were created in descending yugas. And the phenomenons of descending yugas are not going to be valuable when we are already in ascending yuga. So yes, we should respect whatever was written in the metaphysical, spiritual traditions, but we should be ready that a phenomena is now happening which is much more vast, much more bigger than what the religion suggests. See, what happens in descending yuga, the truth will happen only to very few people. And those people will share the truth with the masses. Because the masses cannot receive the whole truth. And that's what the religion is. One person has received the truth. Now he will frame the whole way of living based on that. He will also set up the morals and rules for life. But what happens in ascending yuga? In ascending yuga, more and more people receive the truth directly. So actually in ascending yuga, there is no need of religion. I know I am talking very futuristic. Right now, religions are failing, but still there is a need of religion. But in future, there will be a time when all religions will be superseded. What is the new religion of ascending yoga? Right now, the quantum mechanics is the new religion. In my next video, I will be explaining that why quantum mechanics paradigm is far superior to our metaphysical and spiritual paradigm. Okay, but coming back to the topic, all the time cycles are basically astronomical in nature. So they are accurately predictable. So what is accurately predictable now? That we were going through a descending yugas, now we are going through ascending yugas. So yes, we should worship the Rama and Krishna. They are the past. They are the momentum of the past. But the consciousness is going to go much higher than Rama and Krishna. So we should learn from them, but we should not try to imitate them. We have to discover who we are. Rama and Krishna are only metaphors. We are unique beings. There is no one else in the whole cosmos like us. And the deepest of the spiritual quest is about discovering who we are. And Quantology is a process which guides you how do you discover your highest potential, your true being. So I hope it answers a lot of questions, whatever have been asked. Now, I have discussed till now the two dimensions of whether the future is predictable or not. First I said there is a past and there is an accumulated momentum of past that creates the future. Second is there are astronomical cycles because of which where there are variations, and that kind of future can be accurately predicted. Now there is a third dimension, and that dimension is the consciousness evolution. Consciousness evolves all the time, and where the consciousness will evolve to is totally unpredictable. Where the consciousness will evolve to is not known to anyone. Even Rama doesn't know, even Krishna doesn't know, even Jesus doesn't know. None of the masters, nobody has any idea where the consciousness will evolve to the next moment. Now, this whole cosmos is one body, it is one consciousness. I will discuss certain evidences of that in my next audio. So, this whole cosmos is basically one body. Now it looks at everything. It's like, suppose if I am a very conscious human being, if you are a very conscious human being, so you will look at, okay, what is my past, okay, what is my time going on astrologically, which is again a function of astronomy, and then based on that I make a choice to move in a certain way because I am a conscious person. Same way the whole cosmos is conscious. Based on what the past is, what the astronomical dimension of the time is, it makes a fresh choice. That what choice it will make, even cosmos doesn't know that. Only when this moment arrives, it makes a choice. So this dimension is totally unpredictable. However, what is predictable about this is that when the evolution in consciousness will happen, it will first come to the psychic reality. It takes time. Okay. Now this psychic reality will convert into the material reality, the manifested reality. So someone who is in touch with the cosmos, and if he knows what is the right now, what the consciousness is, that person knows what psychic template will get created in next few years and how the next few years the world is going to be. So conscious people can predict future to certain extent. Why they can predict future and what about them makes them predict future? First, they need to understand the past. The more past they understand of the whole culture, of the whole humanity or whole of themselves, then they can extrapolate the past and understand, okay, where the future could be. Second, they need to understand the astronomical cycles of time, and third, they need to be in touch with the moment to moment evolution of consciousness. If they know what is the evolution of consciousness at this moment, they already know how it will manifest in future. But obviously none of the conscious person will ever be able to assimilate the whole past. He will be limited by his own perception, by his own time and space, right? So we can know the past of, let's say, 19th century, but can we really feel the past of, let's say, 3000 years back? If I am living in India, I can feel the past of India better, but can I feel the past of, let's say, in Peru, right? So my whole understanding of past itself is limited. Okay, astronomy I can understand, but again my knowledge is going to be limited. Okay, consciousness, I can feel the consciousness, but then again there are limitations in terms of how this consciousness will actually manifest. So conscious people, yes, they have an idea of future, but are they clear this is what the future will be? No, they are not clear about it. Okay, but they have a sense of where we are going. So what is the Quantology principle? Is future predictable? Yes, it is predictable, and no, it is not predictable. I hope it clears a lot of questions which has been asked here.